Welcome to the Tech Talks Daily Podcast, where you can learn and be inspired by real-world examples of how technology is transforming businesses and reshaping industries in a language everyone can understand. Here is your host, Neil C. Hughes.
Welcome back to the Tech Talks Daily Podcast, where every day I explore a different tech trend or how businesses are leveraging a particular emerging technology and how they're enjoying tangible results through doing so. And one of the biggest trends this year, especially in cybersecurity terms, is zero trust security. It's a topic we've discussed several times on this show, and the concept of never trust but always verify was a term originally coined by Forrester back in 2010. However, with the prevalence of data breaches today, this concept has now taken on a much larger role and increasing interest among companies when it comes to security. Furthermore, most data breaches now are found to be caused by internal threats or human error. So essentially, this means that companies must not only be monitoring for threats outside of their organisation, but internally too. And a couple of Gartner's top security projects for 2019 include detection and response and cloud access security broker, CASB. And this should come as no surprise as companies continue to adopt SaaS applications and actually need artificial intelligence and machine learning to keep up with the monitoring of all their users and their data. And for example, a recent Capgemini report found that 61% of enterprises simply cannot detect breach attempts without AI. And when I was investigating this journey led me to a company called ManagedMethods. Now, ManagedMethods is an API-based cloud security solution that helps organisations gain data security against internal and external breaches by leveraging AI and machine learning-powered threat detection. And ManagedMethods also protect cloud applications against malware and phishing schemes and detects abnormal behaviour to prevent account takeovers. It's a great topic and one we need to explore further. So come and join me on a road trip to Boulder, Colorado, where we're going to talk with ManagedMethods CEO Charlie Sander. So a massive warm welcome to the show. Can you tell the listeners a little bit more about who you are and what you do?
Sure. And first of all, Neil, thank you so much for having me on. I'm really looking forward today to sharing some of our story and with you and your listeners. My name's Charlie Sander, and I'm the CEO of ManagedMethods, and we are a cloud application security provider. Our mission is to make it possible for organizations to realize the benefits of cloud applications like a Google G Suite or Microsoft Office 365 without exposing themselves to the security risks you read about in the news every day. You know, we specifically target the small, medium enterprise, education, and local government sectors.
So ManagedMethods is a cloud application security provider, like you said there. But can you tell me a little bit more about the kind of problems that you solve and also what makes it different from other security providers out there?
Certainly. You know, Neil, we take a three-pronged approach to providing companies protection from advanced threats, whether they're launched externally or internally. Secondly, protection against data loss, both malicious or accidental. And then we monitor user behavior to look for abnormal patterns that might indicate an account takeover. And how we differ from the providers that require all traffic to be routed through a proxy. And this has some limitations when it comes to specific SaaS apps, and also it's heavy-handed for the kind of markets we serve. So we opted to focus on being an API-based solution. And what that means is we have deep API-based integrations with the SaaS apps we cover, and that gives us ultimate visibility to implement security policies without disrupting, normal user activity.
And one of the things I'm hearing more and more about at the moment is zero trust security and the concept of never trust, always verify. And it seems that on one hand, most data breaches are found to be caused by internal threats or human error, but most companies are only monitoring the threats from outside of their organization. So can you share your insights on that and why businesses also need to be looking internally for threats?
I would love to share insight here. As we know, zero trust security refers to a model in which actors, systems, and services inside a secured perimeter are no longer assumed to be trusted. Now, I think we at Managed Methods believe this concept and idea should be a guiding principle on how to approach cloud security as well. There's some differences in that there's no longer a perimeter. The perimeter no longer exists, but organizations must have visibility and control over the activity taking place inside the SaaS apps they're using. And, as the zero trust side of this comes, that they should never assume that their authenticated users or the third-party apps they've given permission to should be trusted. And you need constant vigilance to spot unusual behavior, associated with some threat from within.
So what do you think about Gartner's top security projects for 2019, including detection and response, and also cloud access broker? I think it's CASB. Is that something that you've encountered?
Well, Neil, I'm certainly in agreement with Gartner here. More and more organizations are making a digital transformation to SaaS apps like G Suite or Office 365. And it's great. It gives them an email service, file storage, document creation, and sharing all under one umbrella. It's a wonderful trend in terms of productivity, but it has a dark side. There's a very disturbing false premise out there that once you do that, you don't need to worry about security anymore. And nothing actually could be further from the truth. I mean, security is a shared responsibility. Sure, Microsoft and Google will try to keep the bad guys out of their cloud and infrastructure, but the organization is responsible for protecting their assets from threats from the inside and outside. So to solve this problem, we combine the elements of CASB and business email security into one comprehensive solution. Both of these are Gartner top projects. So absolutely agree.
Another word that we must bring up today is artificial intelligence. And many people might think that AI is just another tech buzzword. But a recent report found that 61% of enterprises can't detect breach attempts without AI. So do you think AI is actually underhyped rather than overhyped?
Well, there's certainly no shortage of hype around AI these days in the tech world. And if there's any overhype, it is that, if a solution says they use AI, that there's somehow a silver bullet, and there really are no silver bullets. But I think the power of AI is underappreciated, in that we really have no other way to digest and learn from the multitude of events occurring every day in our IT environments. I think it's only from a deep understanding of what is normal that we can spot the abnormal. I think that's the real power of AI that may be underhyped.
So just for people listening, to help them visualize how these technologies can help in their business world, can you explain how artificial intelligence and machine learning can actually help companies protect against hackers and account takeovers?
Yes, I think it's AI and ML can help organizations learn the behavior of certain users in their environment. And then when that behavior falls outside of the norm, you can revoke privileges and get security teams into action. And, it reminds me of a situation we saw lately in one of our education customers. An administrator in that particular school district was named Superintendent of the Year. Great honor. I think it's always great to be recognized and get your name in the news, but not all that take notice out there are admirers. And sure enough, what we saw is after that announcement, on cue, there was a significant level of abnormal login behavior from that person's account. So AI and ML can definitely spot this kind of threat.
And what about the unsexy world of document management? Nobody likes talking about it, but it is crucial to every single business. So how, especially when talking about who can access a document, what doc and when, how can AI and machine learning help with that kind of thing too?
Well, it goes back to my previous point about looking at normal user behavior. But this time, focusing on the downloading, sharing, or even deleting of documents. Again, if activity is deemed abnormal by a AI/ML algorithm, then action can be taken. For example, a school district or a business may have a user suddenly sharing a large number of documents. However, this person's normal behavior is maybe he shares 1 or 2 documents a day, and then all of a sudden it spikes up into the hundreds or thousands. That is a likely sign of an account takeover that would flag a security team to go into action.
And when talking about emerging technologies, some business leaders automatically get nervous about training and getting buy-in and ensuring they've got enough people to manage the tools. So can you tell me a little bit more about how ManagedMethods makes cloud security easy? And by that, I mean no proxy, no agent, and no special training needed. Is that right?
Absolutely. Because we're an API-based solution, companies can get started with our product literally in minutes after activation. There's no end user impact, so companies can roll it out behind the scenes without disturbing their users and progressively move it through the organization. And we've also built our product that customers don't have to be security experts, and most of ours aren't. Our typical customer is, say, an IT manager or a system admin, especially in the education world.
So as we start to approach the end of 2019, there's a lot of articles out there, people gazing into their crystal balls, looking for trends for the next 12 months. But what about yourself there? What's going to be your primary focus in 2020?
Well, we want to continue to take advantage of the strong growth we see in both the Google G Suite world and Microsoft Office 365 world. More and more organizations are moving that direction across all sectors. And, I think we'll also continue to refine our AI and machine learning technology, extending it to more and more use cases that you'll see us roll out in the future. And we have a few other cool things in the works that you'll hear about next year as well.
Oh, you've left us with a teaser. I do love it when guests do that. We'll have to get you on next year and find out a little bit more about that. But for anyone listening that are left with a few more questions as well, they'd like to reach out and contact you guys, what's the best way that can find you online and also contact your team?
Well, first of all, you can find us online at ManagedMethods.com. That's one word, ManagedMethods and then .com. Or drop us a note at info@ManagedMethods.com or sales@ManagedMethods.com. I think we'd love to hear from you.
Fantastic. Well, like I said at the beginning of the show, there's a lot of hype around artificial intelligence at the moment. And one of the reasons I love recording this show is actually highlighting real world use cases, not in the future, but right now. And your API-based cloud security solution helps organizations gain data security against internal and external breaches by leveraging AI and machine learning powered threat detection, which is a fantastic thing. And to see it actually in action now is really amazing. So a big thank you for taking the time out of your busy day to come and share that with me today. Thanks again.
Well, thanks again, Neil. It was my pleasure.
Today's conversation highlighted to me how AI, machine learning, and zero trust are so much more than just a series of buzzwords. Because machine learning is helping companies protect against hackers and account takeovers by knowing their locations, devices, IP addresses, and times that a typical employee will log into a company's SaaS application. And that provides valuable insights regarding unusual account behaviour that can also show signs that a user account has been compromised. And AI and machine learning is also helping customers understand exactly who is accessing documents, who the documents are being shared with, where the documents were downloaded from, and who is modifying these documents, and so much more. So I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. So please email me, techblogwriter@outlook.com, or pop by my website, techblogwriter.co.uk. You'll find links to all the social channels at the bottom there, and of course links to over 970 podcast interviews. Speaking of which, we are now approaching the 1000 episode, and I want to include some of your voices on that 1000 celebratory episode. So if you'd like to record me a few seconds wishing the show the best, simply record something on your phone, whether it be using WhatsApp or iMessage. All you need to do is open a message, hit the microphone button next to your text box there, and then forward on that message through an email to techblogwriter@outlook.com. But I've taken up far too much of your time at the moment. I hope you enjoyed today's conversation, and I'll return again tomorrow. But a big thank you for listening. And until next time, don't be a stranger.
Thank you for listening to the Tech Talks Daily Podcast with Neil C. Hughes. Remember, technology works best when it brings people together.